Wait, is it weird that nothing's written on here? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new experiment, let's say, which is all about starting a YouTube channel from scratch. It has been, geez, I think like 13 years since I've started a new YouTube channel. I am still keeping this channel. That's like the big thing to get out of the way, first of all. But I am actually going to school for integrative psychology. I'm getting a master's degree. And the goal with that is to add to my coaching tool belt and potentially become a licensed therapist. I'm still TBD on that, but that is a real possibility. And, you know, right now, my life is really immersed in psychology. Like, that's what I'm studying, that's what I'm reading, that's what I'm very interested in. And also, when I graduate in only a little over a year, which is crazy, I'm going to be looking for clients that integrate my different skill sets, both in business coaching and in mental health coaching and therapy. And so I kind of need to like start gearing my content that way a little bit, but I just think that doing a psychology series on this channel is going to feel a little weird. And this is like my first thing a lot of people ask me, by the way, is when should I start a new YouTube channel? You know, can I just do my vlogs on my business channel, or can I do my psychology on my vlog channel? And I think my answer is always, if your topic is so different, and specifically if your audience is going to be so different, you should probably start a new channel. And I think for this, it just is a little bit too off script from what I do here that it warrants its own channel. So that's what this series is going to be all about, launching a new channel, which terrifies me. And I'm actually really grateful for this experience because a lot of what I do on this channel is I teach you guys, you know, how to build your own content and how to market your own stuff and your own business. And I, you know, am very like fortunate or privileged in that regard that I've built up an audience already and that it's kind of everything I do is sort of like clockwork. So I feel very grateful that I'm able to put myself in you guys' shoes and feel, you know, what it feels like to start from zero again. And so that's what this series is going to be all about. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start with a list. I've got my, isn't this a cute little notepad? Got my notepad and my Squarespace circle pen. I actually didn't bring my computer with me here. I'm at my studio in downtown Ann Arbor. If anyone wants to film content here, by the way, I'll leave a link for that down below if you are on your own YouTube creation journey. But I didn't bring my computer intentionally. I actually just went for a really nice hike with a friend, and it was a good way to just kind of like get the creative juices flowing. And so today I want to focus on figuring out like the steps, like what do I actually need to do? Because I kind of forgot, it's been a while. And then I also want to think of some topics. I actually have some already, but I want to really like flesh them out. So let's start with the most important steps, and maybe I'll just keep it rolling here as I tell you about them, which now I'm like panicking. Okay, first thing, so about the topics is, first of all, I want to create my content pillars, and I also want to come up with, I'm going to say like 20 video ideas, 15 video ideas, something like that. I'll just start with 15. 20 sounds scary. So that's just on the content side of things. And then I also need to, on the admin side of things, I need to really figure out my channel name, my channel tagline, kind of like the elevator pitch, the quick when people ask me, what kind of content do you do? What do I tell them? And what else do I need to figure out? I mean, I guess like the branding of it. Okay, so content pillars, first off. Content pillars, I recommend that creators come up with like no more than 2 to 3 main kind of buckets of content or categories of content. So for example, for this channel, the whole idea came to me after watching a movie and being like, there's so much psych in that movie. It was Castaway, which wrecked me emotionally, truly. There's so much to talk about when it comes to attachment styles, when it comes to like just survival and all kinds of things. So I want to do film and like media review, not reviews, but I don't know the word for it. So I'm gonna need to like sit down and think about this and craft some cute names for them. But basically I want to do media. And then I think the other thing that I want to do is more just like internet culture stuff. So there's a lot of pop psychology, as they call it. You know, I'm always seeing like, oh my gosh, my avoidant, you know, and a lot of people don't even know what that means. I didn't until a few years ago, like attachment theory, like some of these sort of trending psychology topics. Do you guys see how like my brain goes like it's already, we're getting a little too all over the place with it. So I want to pause and talk about these 15 content ideas. That's actually really what I need to focus on first and foremost before any of these things, because it's going to help me define the scope of the channel. So I want to write down 15 to 20 solid video ideas and then start to look for patterns and say, okay, this is a media, case study, I guess we could call it, like a psychology case study. This is more of like what's trending on the internet. This is more about dating and relationships. This is blah, 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 blah. And then I can kind of hone them in and fit them neatly into pillars. Because right now I'm talking about 50 different topics. When you're starting a YouTube channel, I do think it's so important to have 2 to 3 core pillars so people really start to know you for those things. Oh, that's Latasha. She specializes in attachment theory. That's Latasha. She specializes in media. So really the first step that I'm going to do right now is write out a bunch of content ideas. And I think I'm going to go out into the world. I'm starving. I had that hour-long hike. So I think I'm going to go grab lunch somewhere and just take my notebook with me and write out a bunch of ideas. The rest of the things we're going to probably talk about in a future episode. I think honestly people waste so much time on the admin things, on finding the perfect channel name. Guess what? You can change it. I'll take you guys through it though, don't worry. And then monetization map is another thing that I am going to think about once I get my video ideas and my pillars and my tagline and mission statement figured out. A lot of people think that, oh, it's too early to start thinking about how I'm going to make money. Like I'm just starting here. But actually, I really think the best time is kind of now. It doesn't mean that I'm wanting to make 6 figures from this channel on month 1 or even year 1. That's highly unlikely. But I do want to know how I want to make money from it eventually so that I can gear my channel in that direction. Gonna figure that all out. But like I said, first things first, let's write down some content ideas and let's go get lunch. I'm hangry. Lunch was great, always is. Went to Detroit Street Filling Station. Then I actually wanted to waltz by a store that's closing, really sad. It's called Auntie Della's. She was there and I was just telling her like, I'm sorry you're leaving, but also congrats on the next, version of you and your business and your life. And it was just a really powerful, inspiring conversation. I was like, what's next, And she's like, rest, like number 1, rest. And we just kind of talked about the positive side of, closing something, knowing when it's your time to go, knowing when, your job has kind of been accomplished. And it was a really beautiful chat. So wishing her all the best of luck. I got some cute things, but they're not really essential to today's video. Everything was 50% off though, which was nice. And then I decided to stop by a bookstore. So Literati is on the same block as my studio, one of my favorite bookstores. Going to a bookstore or even just scanning your own bookshelf can be such a good place to get content ideas. And so I decided to go down into the basement, check out the psychology section. And actually, I guess this was from the psychology section. But mostly what I did was looked at books that I already owned and just kind of topics that I wanted to cover on my second channel. But I did get this book. Like, I totally bought it for the cover. Like, let's be honest. It's a beautiful book. I'm also getting some inspiration for my own book as I'm finishing the draft and starting to think about formatting and design. And then this is a classic that like everybody has told me to read a million times. Let's go back over here and I'll tell you what I did at lunch. I think I have a good understanding of, I don't want to read all the topics to you just because I want to keep some things special and exciting for when the channel actually launches, but I actually am struggling with my pillars, to be honest. So I wrote down media, internet culture, and psych simplified. The idea is, okay, media is Castaway, for example, established pieces of media that I can use as reference points to illustrate a psychological topic. Internet culture is, I don't know if that's the right word for that pillar or kind of how I want to use that. Basically, like one idea that I had is what if he wanted to, he would gets wrong, right? This is like a big, very abundant phrase on the internet, especially if you go onto like dating threads or if you ask for advice on Reddit, people are just like, nope, dump him. If he wanted to, he would. Dating culture stuff, just kind of things that are of the moment. Anything maybe that's big and trendy, that's kind of what I can use to get people in the door. And what's nice about a pillar like that is that there's always new content. I mean, same for media. Like that's kind of where the idea came from, is like there's a million movies and books and albums that I can use. Like I'm never going to run out of ideas. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And then I had this idea of psych simplified, but then I was also thinking like maybe that should be the channel name. I really don't know. I have another channel name in mind, but I think it might be being used as a podcast. So I want to do a little bit of research tonight. And I also I think I just like the name more than I even know what the concept is. Like I just love alliteration. Psych simplified. I guess the idea was kind of like, what is attachment theory? What is polyvagal theory? You know, just kind of like these quick little hits. But I think the idea is that I want to teach through relatability, not necessarily through keywords like that, because I don't want this channel to be for psychologists. I don't want this channel to be for people who necessarily are like really deep into their own therapy journey. This is more of like, hey, I'm interested, or I'm trying to figure out why I can't get over this guy, or I'm trying to figure out why I'm so burnt out from my business, or, you know, I'm looking for, you know, kind of putting my foot in the door, right? Because I'm not an expert yet at all. I'm literally a student. And so I don't necessarily want to be in this very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like academic place. So I think Psych Simplified might actually be a contender for channel name. We're going to go with those two pillars, I think, media and internet culture. So now what I want to do is take all of these different titles and topics that I wrote down and just start to put them underneath the pillars. And I will probably do this at home while I have my computer so I can do some keyword research on the topics, and just so I can like color code a little spreadsheet and everything so I kind of know how much of each topic we have. Because one of the reasons I like to use content pillars, and specifically like 2 to 3 max, is so that you can cycle between them, so that I'm not like, oh, this is just a movie review channel, which is fine. Like if that's what it turns out I'm really passionate about and I have a lot of knowledge about, that's going to change kind of the scope and the mission statement of the channel. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. I think I am going to call it a day here at the studio and go home and do a little title research. And also I think I'm going to do a little bit of competitor research. I am very loose about that term. I really don't like the term competitor. I believe that on YouTube, more competition or more people talking about your topic, actually the better. But I am going to look at a few channels and just probably watch some YouTube tonight, which is fun homework, you know, tonight while I'm cleaning up, eating dinner, whatever I do tonight, just to kind of see what content performs the best for them, see if I get any inspiration in terms of creative direction, because that's kind of the next phase that we're going to go into, is we're going to think about what do we want the channel to look like. And I think I'm going to talk about that more in episode 2. So I just want to gather some inspiration, do a little research. Some of the psychology channels that I love, Dr. Kurt Konda is one. He has been a therapist or psychologist. I'm sorry, I don't know like what his official title is, but he has been working for years and years. And he has a very interesting approach. He studies a lot of reality shows and kind of responds to them. And he uses like client examples, sharing what he's learned over the years in the field. Another one that is very academic is Dr. Anna. She documented her process of getting her PhD in psychology. And she teaches in a very, very academic way. I just watched one of her videos and she referenced an actual paper, like a study, and she really is good about citing her sources and all of that. That's really actually not the direction I want to go. I mean, obviously I want to be like citing my sources and bringing in scholarly resources where appropriate, but she is much more academic than I want to be. But I do think she has really good topics that get me to click. And then the last person is not a therapist or psychologist at all. Her name's Shallon Lester. And I think she's kind of like the far end of pop culture. She used to work for Us Weekly magazine, I believe, one of the gossip magazines. And she teaches about different, some psychology topics, some more mindset, some just more maybe sociological case studies through celebrities. So she'll, like if a big celebrity couple breaks up, she talks about it. And again, she's not scholarly. It's more a little bit gossipy. It's kind of like chatting with a friend. But I do, again, think I want to look to her for inspiration. So anyway, that's my homework tonight. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure to subscribe to this channel and also click the description box and subscribe to the new channel if psychology is something that you're actually interested in. So, bit of a bummer. I get home and I'm starting to fill out my content calendar template, which I'm going to link down below for you guys as well. It's actually included in my YouTube Creator Accelerator course, but I'll give it to you guys as a freebie if you are in the early stages, and I'll show you what mine is looking like. But anyway, I was trying to think of what to title the spreadsheet, and I was like, ooh, I need to really decide on my YouTube channel title. And Psych Simplified taken actually by two different channels. There's a Psychology Simplified and a Psych Simplified. And then Frame of Mind was the original idea, because like frame, like frames, video frames per second, mind. This channel exists as well. And they actually do exactly what I'm looking to do. They say, at the intersection of filmmaking and psychology is storytelling. Join your host Jordan, a seasoned filmmaker, and Curtis, a licensed psychotherapist, as they explore the way stories are told, crafted, blah, blah, blah. They haven't uploaded it in 7 months, but I don't want to steal that title. But their videos do well. I mean, let's see, their most popular video has 570,000 views. So this is actually really good reference material, or competition. Let's call it reference material. So I will definitely look at that, but I need to decide on a title now. And it's like, I thought those were good ones. Clearly they were. Shout out to Jordan and whoever for doing it first. So I'm going to do a little bit more digging and thinking. No. Remember how I said people hold themselves back by getting the branding perfect? I'm doing that. I'm living it. I am trying to take my own advice. And it's hard. It's hard. So I remembered my original idea. I went way back into the notes. It was creative therapy. But then I was like, okay, well, is it available on Instagram? Nope. Can I buy the domain? If I want to spend $10,000. So that just seems like a lot. Do I need them all? The answer is technically no. Would it be nice? Yes. And especially if you're looking to build a business off of this, right? If I'm looking to take therapy clients eventually, would creative therapy probably be a good domain to have? Probably. All right, let's keep thinking. You know what? Actually, no, we're not going to keep thinking. We are going to move forward with the content calendar, and we're going to sleep on this. I'm going to do some research, do some inspiration pulling, sleep on it, and by episode 2, I will have decided on the name. Yeah, that's how we're going to move forward. If there is a point, I remember I got this advice when I was in school, like elementary school, and we would take standardized testing, and they would say, if you don't know the answer to a multiple choice question, like off the bat, like right off the top of your head, move on to the next one, and then come back to the questions that you skipped. And that is such a brilliant strategy for like life. And that's what I'm doing for this stuff right here. I don't know the answer, and I'm going to sit here for hours scrolling and, all the things, when I could have my full content calendar planned out and have an idea of what I'm going to produce when I move into step 2, which will be the next episode, instead of spiraling over it. So that's what we're going to do. Stay tuned for what I come up with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my notes. Okay, so like here's a good one. maybe, potentially, since I've been talking about Castaway. So what I'm going to start by doing is just pulling up my notes app list, and I use a tool called TubeBuddy. Oh, wow. Apparently that has a 100% score. Really? I didn't expect it to be that easy. Okay. So let me just give you a worse example, because I didn't expect that to be that easy. So if I would have just said, let's see, the psychology of Castaway. Let's see the search score. Oh, well, why is this broken? So basically what the Search Explorer in TubeBuddy does is it weighs am I just really good at titles? This channel's gonna pop off. So basically we're looking at search volume. So how much people are searching for this topic. Obviously you don't want to choose a topic that nobody's searching for, something that's super, super niche, because you're not gonna get a lot of views. At the same time, you don't want there to be a ton of competition, right? I'm sure a lot of people are searching Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? That search term. And a lot of people are also creating videos about that topic. So that would not be a good title, but something a little bit more niche, like Taylor Swift's most depressing album, we're in the green or yellow on these kind of rankings here. So it's telling me that that is a good title. That's kind of how I do my title research. And I also then just kind of scroll through and see, does it seem relevant? Taylor Swift is a hard one, because there's just, she's a musician. So we're going to see her songs, we're going to see press and things like that. So that one's a little bit harder to kind of, rank against. But in this planner, I type out the SEO score, and then I also choose where we're at in terms of production. And then these categories you can actually edit for yourself. So I've got really two. I've got media, internet, culture. There's also a place for notes or examples, due date, and then a published link. Obviously, we're not going to have those right away. Let's look at one that's more internet culture-y. I feel like something is TubeBuddy working. There's no way I'm this good at titles. I guess that is what 13 years of YouTube experience has done as well. Okay, so what if he wanted to, he would gets wrong. So here's a better example. Search volume, poor. Competition, excellent. Let's see. I just want to scan through. So Sabrina Zohar, she's a dating coach. She did it, and it looks like that video did pretty well. There's a song about it. Here's the other thing is you got to look at context as well. A lot of people might not be searching this topic, but if it's kind of scandalous, this title, which it is, people still might click on it. So you kind of have to use your own best judgment around this. I'm just going to play around with the title a little bit. Emotionally Online Podcast. This looks like another good reference podcast. So that's kind of you just have to dive into the culture of YouTube when you're starting a YouTube channel. I never heard of this, but this one looks great. If you wanted to, he would is reductive. Emotionally Online episode. Okay. This looks interesting. I'm going to have to watch some of this person's podcast. Oh, here we go. Here's a good title. I think the quotes were screwing me up. Okay, we're going to go with this one, I guess. If he wanted to, he would in other bad advice. We're going to go with that for now. I'm going to still probably play around with this. The reason you want to do this first is because this now changed my video idea, right? My original idea was just to talk about if he wanted to, he would. But now I'm realizing, and other bad advice, now I need to go look at other TikToks, other threads, and come up with at least 3 bad pieces of advice, and kind of make it a little compilation, if you will, if I go with this title. I still might play around with it, but yeah, that's why I recommend doing this keyword research before you start recording, because you might need to tweak your script or outline to fit in with this. So this one is more internet culture. This one we're planning. And that's where I think I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going to go over to my good camera actually. And yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. Again, please do subscribe if you're enjoying this series. And you can also subscribe to my new channel down below if it's ready, if I've decided on a name. I sure hope I have. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you like the new content. as well. And that's all. If you have questions or anything, if you are going through the YouTube process yourself, first of all, you should check out my course, the YouTube Creator Accelerator. Second of all, leave comments, leave questions here so I can make sure that I address them in a future episode of this series. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.